minutes late. You have to be on time from tomorrow. Please be on time. Okay, for the next operation, you can loop in the tuple for same as the list. For x in this tuple, you print this x. Same as for the while loop also. Okay. And what is the advantage of tuples in Python over list? So first thing I had earlier told you is that you can use the different data type in it. You can get in the at the space of the time you can get some early classification. Means it is faster than the list. If you iterate in a tuple or if you iterate in a list, the tuple is giving you the answer faster as compared to the list. In the platform of the programming. Okay. At the some least position, for example, if I'm using four or a five element, it will give me the same timing. But if on the large scale, it will have some time comparison with the tuple and the list. Okay. So the next thing is the dictionary. The dictionary is storing the data type in the form of key and a value. As we know, dictionary is a collection which is ordered, changeable, and do not accept the duplicates value. For example, here also I had told you earlier, if I am assigning this brand to Ford, model to Mustang, year to this, and then I am assigning year to the 2012. So if I am calling the year value in it, I will get the answer as a 2012, not 1964. Why? Because Python interpreter who execute this code, it will take year as 2012 because 1964 is coming earlier than 2012. If I am writing this like this, so my year answer is 1964. But the in the previous case, my year is 2012. Okay. Okay. I am getting some error. Now it is fine. So in the year, I am getting 1964. If I'm assigning this 1964 to 2016 and this is to 1978, I'm getting answer as a 2006, 16. Okay. I'm Varsha, Varsha, correct. Uh, What happened, M Varsha? It access last one. Which one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it consider it as a last one. Okay. So we can do some modification in the dictionary as per to the list or the set. We don't have to convert in it. If we want some modification, for example, here I have created this car dictionary in which I will create the brand as a key and value as a Ford, model as a key, then Mustang, year as a key and value is 1964. If I am calling a function car.keys, it will give me the brand, model, and year. And if I'm calling this x as a value, for example, if I'm calling x is equals to car dot values, it will give me the all the values which are present in the dictionary. Okay, now I am assigning this car as a new variable or a new key value pair, the color which is white. So I am getting my answer as like this. Okay, dictionary keys are brand, model, year. Then again, dictionary keys are brand, model, year, color. Why it is happen so? Because I have assigned this X. Okay, if I'm calling this capital X, I will get something right here. Brand. Okay, guys, tell me if I'm calling this print X here also, am I getting some different values or not? If I am calling this print value here also, I'm getting the different values or not? Okay, okay. Why? Because after calling this, I have assigned and do a modification in it. So in the first part, it will give me brand model year. In the second, the values are Ford Mustang in 1964. After modification, if I'm calling dot keys, it will give me the brand, model, year, color, and values as Ford Mustang 1964 and a white. Okay. In the nested dictionary, you can assign like this. In the my family, I have assigned the first dictionary as child, and in this, I'm assigning a second dictionary also. The whose name is Amel, and his he born in 2004. Child 2 is Tobias, she is born in 2007. And child 3 is Linus, who is born in 2011. So you can create some nested dictionary also. It is very useful in the field of some organization. For example, it has some different department. In that department, it has some sub department. So you can create the database as like that. You can use this update function to update some value here also. If I'm using this update function, I don't have to write the code which I prefer earlier. You can update or modify this as a using this update function, and it will update the year as a 2020. Uh, there are some inbuilt function in it by which you can use it and modify the values in the dictionary. For example, the clear is used to remove all the elements from the dictionary. Copy is used for the copy. From key. From key, it will create the new key if it is not present. If it is present, it will given the value which is present over the key have value. Dot get is used for the getting the value using keys. Item is telling you the how many numbers are how many elements or how many variable are present in the dictionary as a key value pair. Dot keys is used to getting the keys of a dictionary. Pop is used to remove. Pop item is all remove the last inserted key value pair. Okay. Set default, update and values. Dot values is used for getting the values of the dictionary. Update is used for the update, and set default is used for the updating the dictionary also. If the specified keys is already existed, it will give you the value. If the key doesn't exist, it will give you the if you it will give you the null value. Is it clear to you all? Ask sign in. Where you have to sign in for the practice on a Google Colab. Okay, so you have to sign in with the Google account. If you want to use the Google Colab, you have to assign with the Google because it is a Google platform, the Google Colab. Without signing in, you can't use it because it is saving your file to the drive. As like my I have assigned signing with my own accounts, it will save my all file into the drive. So whenever I want the access of the file, I can use that file. Is it clear to you all, dictionary and tuple? Okay, I will share you. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you can practice in the command prompt also. Sir, please told me yesterday class, Suresh Yadav, what do you want to know? Venkataraman, you can use the command prompt also for the practice. But in that, you can't use the enter key. If you use the enter key, you can get the single line interpreter. For that, you have to use the tab. You don't have Google account? It is very easy to use this Google Colab. That's why I'm using it. Okay, so I'm going to start the today's class. Today's class is about the module and the package. First thing is the module. Why we use the module in the Python? Uh, so two type of modules are present over there in the Python programming. First is inbuilt, which is defined by the Python organization, who is taking care of all the Python documentation. It has the official website as well, which is python.org. Okay, so what is module? So module is a file that contains some function. It has two type of module. First is user defined and second one is inbuilt. So whenever if you want to use inbuilt, you can use the inbuilt. And if you want to define your own module, you can define it by yourself also and save it with the .py extension. You have to use the .py. For example, if I am creating a new file and in that I have created a calculator, so I have to use the calculator.py to save that file. And whenever I will call this module in my program, so I have to import it in the program by using my some keywords. Okay, so it has some definitions and statement. It is just like a function. In this module, you have some function, classes, and variables by which you can get the result. Uh, in the Python, there are 200 modules. We don't have to learn all them. If you want to study it with the detail, you can go over here and you can learn that. Yeah, it is library. You can say that it is form of a library. You shortly explain what is the main difference between tuple and dictionary. The first and the most important difference is the tuple is immutable and dictionary is mutable. Second thing is that tuple store value as a single element and dictionary store value as a key value pair. It has some keys so that for that keys, for a particular that keys, you have to assign some values. If you want to learn some more module, because it has 200 module over here at the python.org. You can learn over here if you want to. Some of the module I have used in the future so that you can get some ideas how the module is working. Two type. There are two type of module. First is inbuilt, which is defined by the python.org, which is official. But in the backend of that official, it is also a user defined. Why we call built-in? Because this is available for the all Python user. That's why we call it as a built-in. And the second one is the user defined. Yeah, two modules. Okay. So for importing the Python module, you have to use the keyword as import after. So the first thing is that why we do need modules? What happening with the Python programming so that we can use this module? Uh, If you don't want to use the module, it's okay to you. If you want to write the code from the scratch, in some interviews also, they clearly told you that you don't have to use the module, you have to write the whole program by yourself. Okay. There in the Python user defined definitions, user defined definition of the module is that you can define by yourself. For example, if I am using the add function or if I want to use the square root function of the maths, so you can import it by the module also, which is built in the Python. And if you want to create it, you can create it also by writing some lines of code. That is called the user defined. So the main thing is that why we do need modules. So by using the module, the first and the most important thing is that it reduces the time and the memory of the code. Okay, we don't have to write lakhs of lines of code. It is already written by someone so that we can directly use it. Module allows you to logically organize your Python code. If you use the Python code, you can easily organize the thing in a manner. It is compact. If you use some module in the Python programming, it is compact code. If you don't use the module, it is some large lines of code also. Grouping related code into module make the code easier to understand and use. A module is a Python object. It is a Python object with an arbitrarily named attribute that you can bind and reference. For example, in the Python, for I have chosen a example of calculator. In the calculator, how many operations we have to do? The main important is Jilkara. If you have any family function, then that's your decision. You want to give the test or not? No, it is not compulsory. If you want to give the test, you have welcome. If you don't want to, that doesn't matter for me. What is the difference between user-defined and inbuilt modules, sir? It is simple. If you use the user-defined module, you can change it. But in the inbuilt module, you can't change the code and you don't know the process, what is happening behind the scene. But in the user-defined method, you can know what is happening behind the code. And if I'm changing something, what's happened to the code. I will show you how you can do something. I will show you. I will use the both user-defined as well as inbuilt. And the most important thing is user defined taking more time as compared to inbuilt because inbuilt module is for the all. Okay. Module is also consisting of the Python code because we write in the Python for the Python also. So we are using the Python code in the programming for the module. And the most important three things is first is reusability. By using the module, we can use the code again and again. Second thing is simplicity. And third thing is scoping. So we can use the code again and again. It has the simple line of code. You can easily understand to them. And it has also scoping to the a separate name is defined by the module that help to avoid collision. For example, for a single name, if I am using math module, So the math module is not connected with other same name of the module. If some other have a module, so it has a different name from the maths. Okay, so it has different name for the all the modules which we are using. So how you can import the module and how you can use the module. So the first thing is that whenever you use the module, you have to write the import method. Why? Because this import is the function by which you can call the module. I have shown you something. For example, I am using here math. So the whatever maths defined function is defining in this math module, it will show me the result of that. I have used all the importance criteria of the maths function over here. I have shared you the code in the chat so that I can. So here I have import, the first thing is that I have import the math function. Then I will call this math.py. And what is the value of pi? In the fraction, in the decimal. I want the value in the decimal. It is 3.14. 14 Venkatesh T. It is 3.14, not 18. Okay, so and the next thing is that I will call all the maths related function over here. If I want to call the E, which is value is 2.31, I am calling the cos function, sine function, tan theta function, square root function, factorial, radian. So all the function which is related to the math, I am using with a single line of code, which is import math. Okay, and I am getting the answer as the real ones. Okay, 3.14, it will give you some least significant digits, which is defined in the. Then I will call this E function, which is giving me the answer as 2.71. Then I will call the cos 1.0467. It is a value of radian 60. And what is the value of cos 60? Can anyone tell me in the chat? What is the value of the cos 60? You have learned in the 10th class in the trigonometry chapter. What is the value of the cos 60? What is E function? E function is defined in the maths. Yeah, 0.5. Math, which is used as an exponential. Yeah, 1.2, 0.5. It will give me the result as 0.5. And after that, some values. Why? Because it has contained some larger value here over here. This is the value of the 45, the radian value of the 45. What is the sine 45? Sine 45. Sine 45. Sine 45. Yeah, 1 root 2. When we convert this 1 by root 2 into decimal, it will give me the 0.71 as a value. Okay. And what is the value of 1045? So it was given me to 7071. 1, yeah. So it will give me the 1 value as per the 10 theta. Okay. If I am calling this square root function, SQRT is the short abbreviation of the square root. So if I'm calling this square root and giving the 25 value, it will give me the float value. Okay, that's why I am here. I have used this int function to change into the integer value, and it will give me the 6 as a answer. And what is the, do you know what is factorial? What is factorial? Can anyone define me in the chat what is factorial? 1 factorial. Its previous value till 1, and then you have to multiply the whole value. For example, if I am asking you what is the value of 6 factorial, so it will give me the 122 as the answer. Why? Because it will multiply 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, n minus 1 till 1. Yeah. So here I have asking for the 3 factorial. For example, if I am asking for the larger factor, for example, I have asking for the 120 number as a factorial. It will give me the answer. This is the answer. You can see that how big is that number. Is it possible for the human to calculate it? Is it possible? No. Yeah. That's why this is the benefit of using the programming language. It is possible for them. Okay, if I am using here and it has no function left. Okay, wait a minute. I will show you how many digits are for this. Wait a minute. It has 199 character. Okay. Is it clear to you? So by using this math, you can import from also. Uh, if I am using this import math, it will import whole the module of math. If I want some specific part, so we have to use this from statement. By using this from, you can import some of the topic of the maths. For example, here I have used the square SQRT and factorial. So I have to use only the SQRT and factorial function in the program. If I'm using, if I'm calling like this. Okay. Now the second example I have created here. Firstly, I have imported the random. The random means the random values it will created and generated in the range. Whatever I have provided in the range in it, it will generated as a random. How many times I have to send the notes? Guys, please be on the time. Okay, so in the first line of code is, firstly I have imported this random. What is the use of this random? It will generate some random, means it will generate anything from the given range. Random is my module, the proper module, from which I have to call this rand int function. It will generate some random integer in the range of 0 to 5. Is it clear? Is it clear? It will generate a random function. Whenever I am executing this, it will give me the different value. Okay. Then I have print this random dot random. It will give me the value as 0 and 1. Why? Because I didn't have assigned something in it. And in this, it will generate whenever I am giving nothing to it, it will consider it as 0 and 1. And when I multiply this with the 100, it will generate the value from 1 to 100. Okay, I will show you. I don't have to assign. I will told you that how you can. So the first thing is that it will give me the 5 value. It will generate the value in between 0 to 1 whenever I give nothing to them. And when I will provide the numbers, for example, 0 to 1 and then multiplied by the 100, it will give me the float value. Is it clear to you? And then I will assign this list and print random dot choice. I will choose anything over here and it will give me the Boolean function. Why? Because and if I'm executing once, it will change the value. Okay. In the first thing, it will print 2. In the next, 0.98, then 1.884. If I'm executing one again and again and again, it will give me the different value. Is it clear to you why we use show its output? Okay. I will show clear you the random function again. For using the random function, and the main thing is that why we use this random function. If I am in the games also, we have used the guessing game. You have played any guessing game? When we use playing the guessing game, you have to think a number. For example, I will told you that you have to think a number in between 1 to 100 at random. You can think anything. Then I have to guess it in some move. For example, I have given a 10 or a 3 move so that I can guess the number. So what is the main important part? Firstly, I have asked you, is the number you have guessed is less than 50 or greater than 50? If the number is greater than 50, then I have to ask you what the number is greater than 75 or less than 75. What it print if remove true from list? It will print the other values. Like if I am removing true from here, it will print randomly from this 1 4 800 Python 27 hello. Is the screen is visible to you now? Is the screen Google Colab screen is visible to you? Okay. So I have okay. So firstly, I have import this random function. Then I call this randint function in the range of 0 to 5. For example, if I'm considering it as a 0 to 50, then I will call this random. It has some you already defined, it has some default values, which is starting from 0 and ending at 1. So it will print like that. If I'm multiplying this by 100, it will give me the range between 1 to 100 with the floating numbers. Okay. And from here, it will give me the random choices. You can see the result. First, in the range of between 0 to 50, it will print 50. In the range of 0 to 1, it will print 0.13. In the range of 0 to 1 and multiply by 100, it will print 74. And by this list, it will print 800. If I am running it again, it will change all the values. Is it clear to you all? Is it clear to you all how you can use the random function? Okay, okay, okay. Guys, it is just a task for you. You have to write a code in which you have to generate a single number between range 1 to 100 and print the output that the number is square of any number or not. For example, if I am saying you can generate a number 36, it is a square of 6. So you have to print yes. You have to write a code for this. Is that clear to you? What is my question to you? You have to write now. You have to write the code right now. And let me know in the chat after you have writing it. You have to generate a random number from 1 to 100, and after that you have to write a code for the number that it is a square number of any number or not. You have 5 minutes of time. I will ask you at 6:35 till you have to done it. Is my question is clear to you? Guys, no answer in the chat. Is my question is clear to you? Okay, okay, okay. So tell me again, sir. Okay. So you have to generate a number by using the random function. Use this random import random, and you have to generate a number between 1 to 100. And then you have to tell me that the number is square or not. You have to write a program for that. In between 1 to 100, you have to write a program for that. Is that number is square or not? Yeah, it is any. If it is any number, you have to print no. It is not a square. If it is a square, you can print the square number. A from math import sqrt. Sqrt a mod 1 is equals to 0. Uh, Sasank Akela, you don't have to use this sqrt function. You have to write a code for it. You can't use the sqrt function. You don't. I don't tell you that you have to use the module of maths. I'm saying that you only have to import the random function, and using that you have to write the function. Import random. Okay. A is equals to print random dot rendent. Okay. Okay. Uh, Rungola Goeswari. A is equals to print Rungola. Where is the further code of this? This is only giving me the number. I have to check the number is squared or not. A square 1/2. Guys, is there any reason why we use this mod 1 here? If you divide any number with the 1, it is always giving you the 0. Firstly, think about the logic, then you have to write the code. No, it is not giving you the dash. If it is not, I'm not asking about you have to giving me the decimal number. I'm asking that you have to write a program in which you have generate a random number from 1 to 100, and then in the output you have to only giving me answer as a square or not a square. From Gada Goreshwari, where is random function used here? Where is the random function in it? In the starting, you send the random function. After that, it is the code. Okay, then it is right. In the starting, you given me the, yeah, you use the random function. Where you have used the a variable and after that you use the num variable. How it can be possible? Here you have used the a variable. Okay, yeah, Karthik, random dot choice plus 4. No, both the values should not be same. How it can be same? Firstly, you are assigning a to random values and then you are using num. Karthik Kumar, can you explain this code to me? Yeah, you can use if you can use the uh, num instead of a, it is the fine. Where is your code, Bhanu Prakash? Can you please send me again? Yeah, you can use single variable to the both. If you are assigning and taking a random number as a, then you have to compare with the a in the programming also. If you are using with the num, you have to use the num in the if and else condition. You can't assign to a and use the num. It don't have any. Guys, is this a condition for the square? I have told you earlier and write you a code for the square in the previous classes. Is perfect square. Where you have write this is perfect square function, Gunja Venkatesh. Where you have write this is perfect square function. If you are calling here is perfect square function over here, then where you have defined this is square function. Import random list A is equals to this, print random number A, okay. If A is equals to A by 2. Amarnath, I'm not asking you that you have to give me the answer as a 2 power of 2. This condition, A is equals to A mod 2, is a condition for the power of 2, not a square number. Guys, I'm not asking you for the even and the odd number. Wow. Janvi Murula. You have assigned a number and then print A is a square. How it can be square? If I'm getting over here 73, how it can be possible it is a square? Yeah, Asif Sheikh. You are truly correct. This code is truly correct for this square. Guys, this is the true code and correct code. You have to, I will run it for you. Now you can see. Firstly, I have imported this random function over here, random module. Then I am assigning a variable and picking any number between 1 to 100. Then I will print this x and in a range because I very well know whatever the number it is coming, it is the square between 1 to 10. What is the square of 9? It is 81, which is less than 100. So I have to taking a loop and checking the value. Is I star star I is equals to x. You have to use this I star I also. Who write this code? Asif Sheikh, you have did a mistake over here. You don't have to use star star I. If you are using two star, you have to put two over here. And if you are using I here, you have to put like I star I only. X is not a square number. Okay, so my X is taking as 68 and it is not a square number. 80, it is not a square number. 68, not a square number. 80, 87, not a square number. 89, not a square number. 26 is not a square number. 3, not a square number. 77, not a square number. So the code is correct for the. Is it clear to you all? But it is looping many times. Yeah, it is looping many times. For that, it is a small task for you all that you have to Tell me the answer of this. Why it is looping many time and what is the method that we will get the answer as in a single line? Where we have to use the break? Jolu Lathasri. If we are using break after if statement. No. Okay. After. Not after. If I am putting after it break, then it is considered not the inner statement. If I am putting over here break, it is not considered. And is my if my number is not a square, it will not consider for the else condition. So you have to put break in the else part. So that if my else condition is false, the if my this condition is false, it will run at least once. Okay. Then after it will break the loop. Okay. Yeah, after else. Not after else. After else the print statement. In the else part after the print statement. So that my loop or a condition is, but here we know the highest square number, so we can write 1 to 100. And if we don't know, then how can you generate the number? For that, you have to take some number now. If I am telling you that you have to write a number, for that you have to take the n input a star I. Guys, I am not understanding that why you didn't able to write a code. It is so simple. Whenever I am asking to you that is it clear to you, you all said yeah, it is clear. And whenever I'm giving a task to you, you all did a mistake. I'm asking for the square number and guys writing okay, okay. This code is not. Can anyone tell me why it has happened whenever I'm giving you the task or a small program to write? You can't able to write it and you give me anything. I am asking for the square number and some of the student is giving me the code of a odd or a even number. Gunja Venkatesh, can you please tell me why you use here this is perfect square and where this function is? Are you else copy from somewhere? You are copying this code from somewhere. Divakar, for what number you are compare here? Num mod factorial sign is equals to 0. Guys, if you are investing your time here, you have to learn something. Typing mistake. Okay, so correct it. X is 81. X is not number, sir. Got this answer after compiling. Jolu Lata, X is 81, okay? X is not a number. You are using this X is different. Here you are using this X is which is small, and here you are using this X which is greater. Amarnath, this code of you is not correct. I think it is correct also. Let me run it. Okay, it is correct. Yeah, you're right. Only some of the students are understanding the concept clearly. Amarnath, your correct is, your code is very correct. Try to compact it more without using the modules. If you can try, you should do it. Okay, my voice is breaking. Uh, Pasupuleti Chaitanya. So we have to tell me first how to write simple and easy way to create program, how to write. Firstly, you have to think about the problem. It is just like a whenever you have do a mathematics or anything in the science and the mathematics where you have to think on the logics. You have to think, then you have to write. So firstly, on a rough paper, you have to think so that how we can write and approach this code. I am asking for this code. I am telling you how you can approach over here. I have asked you are asked the output number you get is squared number or not. So I can use is Gunja Venkatesh. You using this is perfect square, which is a function, and you didn't assign or write this code. Is perfect square you have used in your program, which is a function also. For that, you have to write this is perfect square function over the import function. You get your output in this case. I am saying that you have used two function in it. First is for the random int, and second, which is you calling, which is perfect square. If you calling this is perfect square, you have to assign it over the program. Your function is taking two total function. Your code is taking two function. First is the main function, and second one is the is perfect. Okay. So I'm giving the answer of this Pasupuleti Chaitanya that how you can approach or to create the how to write a program. Firstly, you have to think that how we can approach to the program and how we can write the program. Okay, firstly, you have to think how can we approach. So firstly, I have tell you that you have to take random number. So first you have import a random function, then you have to take a variable and assign to the random int. And then you can take the a, which is taking the input as a random number. You can take a and then check this a, is it a square number or not? For that, checking that number, I have told you earlier that how you can write a square number function. So for that, you have approached that point. In that case, you can use the one method also. If I am checking, for example, I have the number which is a is equals to 64. And my answer, which is 64. 64 is a square of 8. So for checking this 64, we have to convert this. You can take a range, take a for loop for I is equals to I multiply by I till num also. And you can take in the form of I is less than 10 also. So first you have to think for a random number. Then you have to check for the condition. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm telling you that how you can approach for this. I didn't show you anything. Okay. So first thing is that you have to take input from the random function. Then you have to check for the condition. Uh, Firstly, you have to taking random function and taking value. Then you have to run a for loop. Then you have to check for the conditional statement, and then you have to print the number is perfect or not. This is the simple approach. I'm not presenting anything on my screen. Is today's class is clear to you all? How you can use the math module and how you can use the random module in the functions. Okay. Okay. So whoever is not writing a code on this, you have to think over it and write the code in your notebook. And whoever is writing the code, you have to think on the compact the code without using the module. Okay. If you have any doubt,